I was the front man. I'd talk to everybody. I had to have a guitar in my hand though. And I would sing, and it's my agent. Give me some work. My father was always singing, always the guy at the wedding that would get up on a stage and sing and tell jokes and stuff like that. So I guess the entertainment bug came from my dad. Never really wanted to be in front of the camera. My daughter at the time wanted to get into show business or whatever, get into acting. So I went to a talent agent, and I brought my daughter there. The woman says, "Well, what about you?" And I'm like, "No, I don't want to act. What do I know about acting?" "Well, you should try it." And he goes, "I could get you into Sopranos." Now, this is a little place in South Philly. I thought she was like bullshitting me. I'm like, "Yeah, right, I could be in Sopranos." Next thing you know, I worked on like 10 Sopranos episodes, talking to James Gandolfini and this one and that one. I'm like, all right, I didn't have a principal role, but I was on The Sopranos. Acting I do, if the role is for me, if it's a mob guy or a blue collar guy, I'm your man. You know what I mean? Other than that, I don't fool myself into thinking I could play a college professor or, whatever. I leave that to the real actors. I did background a lot in New York and some in Philly. I worked on The Sopranos a lot. It was Johnny Sack's daughter's wedding. And I think we were there 2 days to shoot the wedding, and like every cast member from The Sopranos was there. So holding was on, I think, the second floor, and we were shooting in the ballroom on the first floor. So we come down after lunch, and we go to take our place at the table, and James Gandolfini was in my seat, sleeping. Granted, he had a trailer out in the parking lot with, all the amenities, but he chose, and he was a great guy, he chose to be with everybody else. And the question to me was like, am I going to wake Tony Soprano? And in your mind, you're just like, I know it's James Gandolfini, but, I don't want to die. So, and he's snoring, and then I think the first AD came over. "Jimmy, all right, we're getting ready to go." So we actually sat there next to each other, and I'm trying to make small talk with him, and he's looked like he didn't get any sleep, and God knows what he did the night before. Silvio comes over, and like in character, he's going, can I curse? "You believe these motherfuckers, they come here, they give me a call time, 6 o'clock, I didn't do nothing about 10:30. What the fuck is this? Hey, you kid, you know what time it is?" And I'm like, oh my God, I'm smacking myself. Am I really here? That was the highlight of my background career. I've enjoyed the ride from when I started playing a guitar in, 7th, 8th grade till now. I enjoy what I do. I would like to do it full time, but I really can't afford to just like quit my job and hope that it takes off. I wish I could. As long as I could do it enough to satisfy my creativity and my love of making films and doing TV shows and stuff like that, I'll just keep doing it. Move to New York or LA? You got to do it when you're young. When I was that age, I don't know if I was a mama's boy or, I remember when I was going to Temple, taking communications that, just some people were rubbing me the wrong way. And I was a kid from South Philly. You have a certain attitude there, and then you run into different type of people that you never met before, and I'm thinking to myself, if I go to LA, I'm going to kill somebody. Because I really didn't like, at that time, I didn't like the personalities. As I grew up, I learned to, everybody's different. Now I love LA, I love going out there. I used to hate New York until I started going there to work, then I fell in love with New York. So it depends on, your stage in life, back then. I wish I loved that stuff back then like I do now. Philadelphia is good, but there's only so many contacts you could get to go to the next level. Success means being happy, doing what you do, figuring out a way that you can, experience making films, in my case, that I could, get the best people involved that I know for the budget that we have on a particular project, and making a successful film.